I know I do a lot of videos about bad cops, but cops aren't always being bad. Sometimes they're working hard to bust real, hardened criminals and remove them from our society. As you can see by the show of force in this video, this is one of those instances. On October 18th, 2022, 5:04 a.m., Kingsport, Tennessee, police, in conjunction with Sullivan County Sheriff's deputies, busted into a home to serve a warrant on Big G Audits. As you can see, they're dealing with a dangerous criminal. They have their guns drawn and one officer is even holding a shotgun. Police enter the home on high alert, warrant in hand for a Joshua Gibbons for capital Oh wait, no. Oh,
Sheriff's Office.
Different story. Police enter the home with warrant in hand for speeding.
Sheriff's Office.
To understand how we got here, let's go back in time 8 days. Joshua was on his way home when he was stopped at a red light next to a Kingsport, Tennessee police officer, wearing a patch that reads Courage, Integrity, Justice. The Kingsport, Tennessee Police Department will display all three of these things in this one video. When the light turns green and the officer takes off, he appears to be speeding. It appears that Joshua pulls out his camcorder and starts recording.
Now this is how fast we're supposed to be going. 45. So what the speed limit is down through here, 45. And look at it, is he doing 45? I don't think he's doing 45, do you? Because he's leaving us a sitting. Yeah. It looks like he's a speeding. He's leaving me. He is leaving me. And it's 45 down through here.
Joshua appears to get up to about 52 miles an hour, but the sergeant is still pulling away from him, so Joshua gives up. But he sees the officer pull into a drive-thru and pulls in to confront him. This is where the officer displayed courage. He was willing to courageously risk the safety of you and your families, speeding down the highway in an attempt to get a better spot in line for fast food.
Is there any way, to ask you a question, what your name badge number is?
No, sir.
No, sir? Okay. Is there a reason why that you feel like you can speed down through here and break the traffic laws? You weren't speeding? Okay, well.
This is where the Kingsport Police Department displays integrity. After being caught on camera, speeding, and confronted about it, the sergeant with the Kingsport, Tennessee Police Department lies.
You weren't speeding?
Within police departments, this is known as integrity.
What's your car number? Okay. Well, I've got you recorded speeding, so you're full of shit. You sure you don't want me to give you your name, badge number?
No, sir, I don't wish to create one.
Okay. Yeah. You'll be getting a formal complaint. I don't know why you feel you're above the law. You have to obey by the traffic laws just like everybody else when you're not running an emergency. Why you think you can do 55 miles an hour down Stone Drive, I have no idea. You piece of shit.
When the sergeant got back to the office and discussed the incident with his supervisor, they talked about how the sergeant had displayed courage and integrity, but how he had failed to display justice on that particular evening. 8 days later, they remedied the situation by delivering justice to the men who put their courage and integrity on display on the internet. In yet another display of courage, the Kingsport police work together with Sullivan County Sheriff to serve an arrest warrant on the man who showed their courage and integrity on the internet.
Sheriff's Office.
Here it is.
Sheriff's Office. Howdy. Is there Mr. Gibbons here?
Yeah, that's good.
Where's he at?
Yeah.
Which bed is it? We got a warrant for his arrest. Alright, he's gonna get it. Which bed is it?
Well,
Man, we don't choice, get a warrant for his arrest. He's got charges for speeding, prohibited use of mobile telephone while driving, and disorderly conduct. Yeah, no bill set, but call in there in about an hour or two. You could have one set by the magistrate. If not, 9 o'clock at 9 a.m. you'll have a plan, okay?
In case you didn't hear, it appears that they actually got a judge to sign off on a warrant for speeding, prohibited use of cell phone, and disorderly conduct, all for the evening when he confronted a police officer about speeding. They claim that he used his cell phone while driving, recording himself speeding, and that calling the piece of shit sergeant a piece of shit was disorderly conduct.
Why you think you can do 55 mile an hour down Stone Drive? I have no idea, you piece of shit.
Now, I understand that to any reasonable human being, this looks like retaliation, and I'm sure that's how it'll look in front of a jury, too. But to unreasonable, irrational people like me, this looks like courage, integrity, and justice. Therefore, I called the department to thank them for it.
You have reached the City of Kingsport Police Department.
How can I help you?
This is James. Are you an officer with the department or dispatcher?
I'm a dispatcher, sir.
Oh, okay. Could I speak to an officer? I really just wanted to thank an officer. That just wanted to brighten their day and...
Oh, okay.
Hey, James.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, pretty good. Hey, it's Chris Tincher, Kingsport Police Department. I was told to give you a call.
Yeah, how you doing today, Chris?
Hanging in there. Just busy. Busy day. One of those...
Out protecting and serving, huh?
We're trying. You're trying.
What'd you say your last name was, Chris?
It's Tincher.
Tincher?
No, Tincher. Tincher.
Oh, okay. All right. Right on, man. Well, I don't know if the dispatcher called you, but I just wanted to call and give you a big thank you.
Okay.
I didn't have a crime to report or anything. Actually, I recently saw something where your officers displayed everything that's written on the little patch in basically one incident. You know, courage, integrity, and justice.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah. Do you want me to tell you a little bit about what it was, or?
Yeah. I'd like to hear it. Yeah, we like compliments. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I recently saw one of your officers in a very courageous, first, I mean, in order, courageous, integrity, and then justice. He courageously sped to a fast food restaurant to get a better spot in line, kind of risking, the safety of everybody on the road, but, for a good reason, and that was to get a good spot in line at the fast food restaurant. Then, when someone confronted him about it and said, "Hey, man, I caught you on camera speeding," he had the integrity to deny it and lie right there on camera. And then 8 days later, the entire department actually got together with the sheriff's department because they didn't serve justice that day. It was just courage and integrity. So a few days later, maybe a week later, they went and served justice and actually served an arrest warrant on this guy for displaying the officer speeding and lying on the internet. So, and I know that a lot of people just want to give you guys a hard time about that, but they don't understand what it's like being a police officer, and I wish that they would try to put themselves in your guys' shoes and understand that everything you guys do is courageous. And whether you're lying or telling the truth, it's integrity. And what more could be justice than, busting into a guy's house for speeding? Am I right?
Yeah, we do appreciate your perspective.
Yeah, so, I wanted to say thank you. I'm genuinely, I appreciate it.
I appreciate your calling to let us know about that. Obviously, we've received numerous calls of people with opinions like yours, so.
You're telling me a lot of people actually genuinely appreciate you guys doing what you did?
We have about 60,000 people in this city, roughly, that we serve, and the citizens of this city are pretty appreciative of our department.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't know the things I guess, that we have to put up with on a daily basis.
Yeah, absolutely.
And and obviously, if they knew a lot of these things, I'm sure they would be, even more appreciative of what we do for them.
Right.
So, again, I mean, you've got to have your perspective or your, I guess, opinion. I mean, that's what it's called America. You're allowed to have that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm fine with that.
Well, no, I genuinely appreciate what your officers did. I genuinely appreciate it.
Well, again, you can have your opinion, but I appreciate you calling in and letting us know about it, okay?
Okay. In the future, can you do this more often?
And I always try to tell people, look, we are actually the shortage of officers. I think a lot of places are the shortage of officers in the country.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there seems to be a lot of people who got a lot of good ideas, and a lot of people that could probably maybe step up and fill some of these roles, in law enforcement. So, you or whoever you're talking about want to do that. I mean, I would welcome it.
That's
like I said, because a lot of people sound like they have good ideas, and they could probably, come into a department and probably those ideas, they could probably use them, because it sounds like they got a lot of training and I guess a lot of perspective on what law enforcement's about. So I would love to have those people come in and go out here and show, the people that's been here for a while, maybe show them a better way how to do it.
Yeah.
And that'd be great.
Yeah. That's an excellent topic to talk about. Actually, you guys aren't the only ones facing a shortage. It's nationwide. It is nationwide.
It is.
And there's got to be a reason, right, that it's nationwide. And there's probably a couple different perspectives there. One is, well, cops get disrespected so much. Who wants to be a cop, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another perspective that, if cops were just saving babies. I mean, I saw a video once of a cop that pulled over on the side of the road. There was a baby choking, and the cop saved the baby's life. If that's all cops did, do you think people would be saying fuck the police? You
probably have watched some videos out there that people make. Some of them are just downright cop baiting. They're disrespectful, and police are human beings, and human beings are going to react, and it takes a lot for someone to be cussed at, yelled at, and not react to it. And most guys that come out and do this stuff, they will sit off the side. They will videotape. They say, "Hey, you care to stay on the sidewalk?" "Yeah, no problem." And they'll sit on the sidewalk and videotape us or whatever. They won't try to talk to the drivers or the passengers of a car in a traffic stop. For the most part, they're respectful to us. "Hey, man, see you later. All right, take care." And then we get in our car and go away. Not this feller. And it might come down to common decency.
Chris Tincher essentially spent 25 minutes talking on the phone with me, telling me that this arrest warrant wasn't just for this man recording the police. It was for him recording the police repeatedly over the last year, as well as being critical of the police, and even using words to describe the police that they found hurtful, such as,
"You piece of shit."
Chris Tincher reveals himself and the culture of this entire department quite a bit in this phone call. As he said, it can be very difficult not to react when somebody says words to you that hurt your feelings.
And it takes a lot for someone to be cussed at, yelled at, and not react to it.
And I can understand this because I've been in this situation too. One time somebody called me a piece of shit. I did the same thing. I went home, I called 8 buddies, we strapped on a bunch of war gear, went to the guy's house, pointed guns in his face, and kidnapped him. Just like any other reasonable, rational, contributing member of society would do. And as Chris Tincher started to realize that nothing Big G Audits was doing was illegal, he resorted to this.
And it might come down to common decency.
Fair enough. It's not against the law, but most of us would agree in society that it's not decent to call somebody else a piece of shit. And I think that most of society could agree that when someone does call you a piece of shit, the commonly decent thing to do is get 8 buddies, dress up like war heroes, kick their fucking door in, and kidnap them. Contact information for both departments are in the description below, in case you want to contact them and thank them for their courage, integrity, and swift deliverance of justice against those who hurt their feelings. As Tyrant Tincher said, they're also hiring, so if you want to sign up to be a piece of shit,
"You piece of shit,"
that kicks in people's doors for hurting your feelings, ask for an application. For the life of me, I can't understand why more and more people are choosing not to become a part of this organization that terrorizes innocent people and has created the largest prison population in the history of the world. This video has been sponsored by Kim Jong-un and the People's Republic of North Korea. We would also like to remind you to buy James Freeman merch. Links are in the description below.